students, welcome to the next lesson of how to play Xiangqi, Chinese chess. This is lesson 27 of our series. With this, we'll be introducing a pawn, just a curiosity of pawn formation and pawn movement. It's called the double ghost knocking technique, or double ghost knocking attack. And in this sense, the ghost is an advanced pawn. And in this position, which we've just created just for the purpose of a demonstration, curiously enough, it looks like it's even, symmetrical almost. Red has two advanced pawns, that's the double ghost, and black also has the two advanced pawns, the double ghosts. And the curious thing about this is the person who moves first loses. It's really curious. Let me just show you how it works. Because really, if red had two moves in a row, he'd go here. The king would go over here, and then if red had another move, if black would do something like this, then red would go here, and we have a mate, right? But the most curious thing happens. Watch. There's the first check. Okay, and red thinks, boy, I'm going to get my checkmate, so he moves up. But what he's done is he's moved the king onto this file. And so now black moves forward, and it's a checkmate because this red king can't take the pawn now because the red has forced the king onto the proper file. It's the craziest thing. And the fact that the first person who moves first loses is a bit like a trebuchet in Western chess. And those who are familiar with pawn formations, there's a special pawn formation called a trebuchet. So likewise, if it's black's position with the same pieces and the same configuration, he thinks he's going to do the same thing. So he's going to go check, king over. But now the tide has turned, and red moves forward with a check, and that's checkmate, the exact same position. So it has the curious result that the person who moves first loses. We're going to pause for a second and set up a more game-like example, but it's really an endgame composition also from the Dreams of Divine Positions. And we'll work a little bit with that to try to demonstrate how such an idea here could be used in a real game. So here we have a position that's set up that's from the Dreams of Divine Positions ancient manual, and it illustrates the double ghost attack. Double ghost meaning the two advanced pawns here that red has. Red does win this game, and it's red to move. Black is threatening a checkmate, though. If red does something else that's, stupid, like going here, this would be checkmate, right? So, keeping that in mind, let's look at all our positions here, our pieces here. Black has two double ghost knocking here down to on in the third rank. Red does also. Red has a cannon here and a chariot here. Black has seemingly oodles of pieces down here. He's got a horse there, chariot here, cannon here. And it sure looks like he's winning. He's got all kinds of extra material. But it is red to move, and he does win. But the first thing red does is he takes this. And this, the idea is that he would force black to come here. That eliminates the possibility of this chariot advancing and delivering a checkmate. Now when we do that, and we take, it's worth taking a sidestep here, that black has to take it because this does not work. Red would take the chariot here, and he's actually threatening another checkmate by just coming over here and taking this. So black defends that with this. Check. and the king, of course, cannot take. The chair, the advisor cannot take, and the king cannot go here, so that's actually checkmate. So for that reason, black has no choice really but to take this. So here red can take this. This threatens a mate. And black defends with this. There's some other variations we're not going to go over because it's really confusing for the video. This is check. This comes here. This takes. That takes. And then this is checkmate. Because it doesn't help for this to withdraw or retreat because it's still a check from the cannon. So it's really aesthetically pleasing because all of red's pieces are gone, and yet he still created a checkmate with just the pawn and a cannon. And that's it. Very, very beautiful. Let's go over that again just to see how that happened. This is decoy, then capture with a threat, a defensive attempt, check, defense, capture with this double ghost, knocking, take, and checkmate. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's a little busier and complicated, more complicated than usual, but it's very instructive nonetheless. So thank you. With the next lesson, we'll turn to another pawn attack. It's called repatriation of the Buddha. I don't know what it has to do with the Buddha and how he's repatriated, but that's the poetic name for this combination. So join us then.